Hello everyone, Gaza Mutkarsh, and I welcome you all to this session on relational database and SQL basics. So guys, let's have a look at the agenda for this session. The agenda for this session includes understanding the different filtering operations and the sorting operations in both MySQL and Postgre. So till the previous session, we have discussed the basic SQL queries such as the select, how to create tables, how to insert data into the tables. So let's get started with this topic. So I'll be switching to MySQL Workbench. So guys, over here we are in the MySQL workbench, and this was the data that we have worked with in the previous session, right? So the topic is filtering and sorting. So first let's have a look at the data set. So over here I'm writing select star from orders. So I'll have to use this database. The database is DB demo1, and next I'll select the data from the orders table. So guys, this is what we have. This is what we have. We have the order ID, then we have the customer ID, then the product, then the price, quantity, order date, and the delivery date, right? So these are the fields that we have. So let me mention the table schema. Over here we have the order ID, then we do have the customer ID. Next we have the product, the price, the quantity, the order date, and then we do have the delivery date, right? So these are the fields that we have. Now first, we'll be looking at the filtering operations. Filtering essentially means, let's say, extracting only those parts, those records from the table that are essentially required by the business. All right. So, or maybe based on some conditions, based on some logic, the required data that we need to fetch. So, for filtering, we can use different type of alterations, different type of operators. So, first, I'll be proceeding with the basic filtering. So, for basic filtering, basic operators used are, we can use these operators, right? Greater than, equal to, less than equal to, then not equal to, and equal to as well. So as far as not equal to is concerned, we have two different operators. We have both these symbols indicate not equal to, right? So I'll be writing it separately. Not equal to, we have two options. These are the two options. So when we talk about not equal to, right? So let's have a look at the example. So over here I'll be writing select star from orders where, let's have a look at the first example. I need to check greater than, right? So where, what is my filtering condition? Where maybe the quantity is greater than 2. So greater than 2 includes 3, 4, 5 and more, but not 2, and less than 2 as well. So let's see what are we getting. So over here I'm filtering all the records from the table orders where the quantity is greater than 2. Now if I were to make this quantity greater than equal to 2, then what I would be getting? So if I'm writing this, so now it will fetch me all the quantity from the, let's say all the records from the orders table where quantity is greater than or equal to 2, means this would include 2 as well. So let's run this. So guys, as you can see, I'm getting the quantity, I'm getting the records where order is 2 or 3 or 4, but not 1, because it has to be greater than or equal to 2. Likewise, I can write the query for maybe less than and less than equal to. So ये हम कैसे लिखेंगे? Over here I'm writing, maybe I'm selecting few records, few customized columns, not all the columns, but only the columns that I need. So let's say I'm extracting the customer ID, the product, the quantity, the price, and the order date, right? And the order date from the orders table where, what is the condition? Where the order date, let's say, is less than 2025, all right, and then maybe 04, and let's say this is 14. So I'm filtering all the records where the order date is less than 14th April 2025. So let's run this. So this is what I'm getting, right? This is what I'm getting. As you can see, this is what I have. Now, if you can check the order date, all the records have the order date less than 2025 14th April. All right. Now, if I were to make this, let's say less than equal to, if I make this, let's say less than equal to, the same query, it's just the same query. I'm fetching customer ID, product, quantity, price, and order date from the orders table where the order date is less than 2025 4, and then next over here I'll be writing, let's say 10. So all the orders placed before 10th April 2025. So let's filter them. So guys, as you can see now, if I were to, let's say, sort it, so as you can see, the order date over here is less than 4th 10th April, right? It is less than 10th April, less than equal to 10th April, so even 10th April is included over here. So this is how we are supposed to use greater than equal to, less than, and less than equal to. We do have other options as well. Suppose I'm using the same columns. Next, maybe I can filter where maybe, let's say, the product is equal to, let's say I'm writing for P2, where the product is equal to P2. So if I were to write this, so there are only two records where the product is P2. So this is the simple equal to operation, equal to based filtering. And likewise, if I were to write not equal to, so maybe over here I can write not equal to P3. So for not equal to, we have two different operations. So I'm selecting the customer ID, product, quantity, price, and order date from the orders table, where the product is not equal to P3. Alright, and as you can check over here, the product is not P3. I'm getting all the products except for P3. Why? Because I've filtered out the P3 products. Likewise, there's another way I can write it. Even this works this way. So the operator is changed, but the meaning or the implication is same. Both these operators, exclamation equal to and less than greater than symbol put together, they both simply imply not equal to, right? So let's run this. So guys, as we can check, even over here, we are not getting P3. You're not getting P3, right? So these are the basic filtering operations. These are the basic operators that we use for filtering. Then the next set of filtering operations that we can proceed with is, let's say, we can use and, or, in, not in, and between. So these are some intermediate level filtering operations. So when we talk about and, so what does it return? It returns true. Okay, I'm not writing this. So and or, when we talk about and or, right? So when we say and, it returns true when both the conditions are true, otherwise false. And when we talk about or, it returns true when any one of the condition is true, otherwise any one of the conditions is true, otherwise false. So suppose we are supposed to apply multiple filtering operations in the same query. So how would we write it? Over here, suppose I'm fetching the order ID, then the customer ID, then the product, then the price, and the order date and the delivery date as well. From what is the table name? The table name is orders. All right. And what is the filtering condition? Maybe where the quantity is greater than equal to 3 and the order date is greater than, or let's say order date is less than 2025, and maybe let's say 04 and 12. Let's see, do we have any such orders where the quantity is greater than equal to 3 and the order date is less than 12th April, right, 2025. So guys, this is our query where I'm selecting the order ID, the customer ID, the product price, the order date, the delivery date from the orders table, where the quantity is greater than 3 and the order date is less than 2025 412, right? So let's run this. So guys, currently we are only getting one record. We only have one record where this condition is justified, right? Where both the conditions are true. So the quantity is greater than 3. Okay, I'm not displaying the quantity. Let's display the quantity as well. So what is my quantity over here? The quantity that I'm getting over here is 3, and as we can see that the order date, this is the order date, right? This is the order date that we have. So it's less than 2025 0412. So maybe if I can make this, let's say, less than equal to 3. So next, maybe we can have multiple records, less than equal to 2. So maybe we'll have multiple records now. Yes, see, now there are multiple records just that justify this condition. So this is an example of utilizing and. Likewise, I can create another example where I'll be showing you or. So or means either this or that. All right. So even if any one of the condition is true, then the result means we'll get the results, right? So over here we are having the product is equal to P3 and order date. What about the order date? Over here, the okay, let's not make it on order date. Let's check on the delivery date. So maybe over here I'm writing the delivery date is on or after 2025 04 and maybe 22. So with the product is P3 and the delivery date is greater than 2025 422, means the product has to be P3. Either the product is P3 or the delivery date is after 22nd April. Let's run this. So because I've used the OR condition, right? So even if any one of the condition is true, that record is fetched. So as we can see, product is P3 and this is the delivery date, product P3. So if any one of the condition is true, so means the query is correct. So just have a look over here. The delivery date is 24, right? It's 24th April. Over here it's P3. Next, and for all these three records, the delivery date is post 22 April. All right. And for the last one, it is P3 and 21. So when any one of the condition is true, then that record is returned. Next, I can use in and not in. So maybe I want to filter all the records. Let's say select star from orders table where the product has to be in P3 or the product has to be in P4. These are the only two products that I wish to fetch. All right, select star from orders where the product in P3 or P4. All right, so if you observe this, over here I'm getting the product as P3 or I'm getting the product as P4. So only these two products are fetched, right? Why? Because over here I've mentioned that only two of these values are possible. So likewise, maybe I can show you another example. Next, maybe let's check this on the customer ID. I only want to fetch records for the customers where the customers are maybe 112, 117, and let's say 119. These are the customer details that I want to fetch, and along with 118. These are the four customer details that I wish to fetch. So maybe we don't have 119. So let's make this 111. Let's see. So guys, these are the records. These are the records for these customers, right? So clearly we can see that 111 customer ID 111 has made two orders. All right, there is order number 2 and order number 7 belongs to the customer ID 111. Then order number 3 belongs to customer 112. Order 12 is for customer 117 and order 14 is for customer 118. So these four let's say customer IDs, these are the 5 different orders. So in is meant to include multiple values, right? And not in is just the opposite. So over here, if I'm using product in P3, P4, means I'm only targeting the records where the product has to be either P3 or P4. Likewise, if I were to target the products where product is not P3 or P4, that is when I can write like this. So this is meant for not in. So if I were to execute this, so guys, as you can check now, the product does not include product P3 or P4, right? The product does not include P3 or P4 over here. Next, over here, next what can be done? So over here I'm writing, I can use between. So let's say where the order date, the next filtering operation is between, right? So far we have seen and, or, in, not in, and next we are going to check between. So over here I can pass a range. So let's say I want to filter all the records where the product order date varies between 04, means let's say this is between 10th and 15th, right? 2025, 04, and then 15. So this simply means, okay, let me write this, both values are inclusive. This simply implies that I'm filtering all the records from the orders table where the order date is between 2025 410. So 2025 410 simply means this is 10th April 2025 and this is 15th April 2025. So let's run this. So guys, we have 4 records. So this includes both. See, both values are inclusive. This will include the 10th, that is the minimum value, and the maximum value. So using between, we can pass the range. So I'll give you another example. Maybe I want to filter all the records where not the order date, but let's say the quantity between. The quantity is between 1 and 3. All right. So this would include both 1 and 3 as well. So over here, I'm getting all the records where the quantity is between 1 and 3. So guys, this is how, let's say, the different filtering operations works in MySQL. So next we can proceed with the sorting operations. So even in the previous session we have discussed this. Sorting is essentially meant to, let's say, arrange the data in ascending or descending order, right? So again, it depends on the requirement, and the default sorting operation is default sorting order is ascending order. The default sorting order is ascending order. So let's see how can we apply this. So for sorting, let's say this is the second point. This being the definition, and then order by clause is used. Alright, so order by clause is used for the same. So how to use this? Suppose I want to sort the data in the ascending order of order date. So over here I can write select star from orders and then maybe order by, and after order by I can write order date. So by default this is in ascending order. Have I mentioned ascending order anywhere? No, because the default sorting order is ascending order. So let's see this in action. So guys, as you can see, the order date is in ascending order. So 2, 4, 7, 9, 12, 15, and all the orders belong to the same month, that is April. Next, I can execute it again. Even if I write ASC, ASC implies ascending. So even the default, and you can accompany it with the keyword as well. So both ways we are getting the same result. As you can see, the order date is in ascending order. Next, if I want to make it in descending order, then what do I write? I can simply write it in descending order like this. So this ensures that now the order date is in descending order. As you can see, 25th April, 22nd April, 20th April, 18th April, and so on. All right, this is how we can execute this. Next, so currently the examples that we have seen, this is, let's say, single column based sorting, right? Now, what if multiple columns are involved? So when multiple columns are involved, let's say multiple columns based sorting. So when this is the case, when we do apply it based on the multiple columns, then what happens? Then let's say, how does the sorting operation works? It, let's say, first sorts the data. It first sorts the data in one order, let's say in order of the first column, and then sorts the data based on the second column. All right, but and then sorts the data based on the second column with respect to the first column. So means the first column is prioritized when this let's say sorting comes to the second column, right? So over here, what if I was supposed to write, let's say, select and then star from the orders and order by, okay, maybe I'm not writing the entirely. Over here I'm writing select, then maybe the customer ID, then the product, then the price, and then the quantity, right? Over here I'm writing the customer ID, the product, the price, and the quantity. And besides this, okay, after quantity I'm writing the order date, right? After quantity, okay, I'm choosing the product we won't be able to okay, so let's say the order date and the quantity and then the order date, right? Quantity and then the order date from the orders table. And then next I'm sorting it order by quantity, in descending order. So first quantity would be sorted in descending order, and then order date is sorted in ascending order. So first quantity and then the order date, right? So first it would be sorted based on quantity, the entire table would be sorted based on quantity, and then followed by that for each quantity the order date would be in the ascending order. Let's see this in action. So guys, if you check, the first quantity is sorted in the descending order, where I'm having like this. This is my result. So for quantity 4 there is just one record. For quantity 3, if you just check, for quantity 3 we have the order date sorted in, we do have the order date sorted in the descending order, ascending order, right? This is 9th and then 18th and then 20. And then for quantity 2, what do we have? We have 4, 7, 10, and 15. This is how we have, this is how we do have the data, right? So guys, this is how, let's say, we can apply sorting based on multiple columns. Now what if maybe I need to, there is an option to fetch, let's say, the top n records. So this is where I can use the limit keyword. So maybe I just need I want top 5 orders with highest quantity. So how do I solve this kind of a question? To solve this kind of a question, what needs to be done? Select star from orders. All right, then order by quantity descending. Why descending? Because the highest quantity is asked, and then maybe I can use limit 5, and then I can use the limit 5. So let's run this. So guys, if we check, so these are the top 5 orders with the highest quantity, right? So this is how we can implement the filtering and the sorting in MySQL. So next, let's switch to the Postgre where we can implement the same. So guys, over here we are in the Postgre window. So I'm using a similar table but with different data. So over here we are having the orders table, right? So let's execute this and check. So in the orders table, what do we have? We have the order ID, and then we do have the customer ID, then the product ID, then we have the quantity, then we have the price, then we have the order date, then we have the delivery date, and we do have order status as well. We do have order status as well, right? So first, let's concentrate on filtering. So the definition and the fundamentals we have already seen, so I'll just be applying different filtering operations. So let's have a look at the basic operations. So how do I write? Maybe I can write select star from the orders table where, let's say, the quantity is, okay, maybe where order date is greater than 2024, and then 12, and then maybe 20. So let's run this. Okay, this is 12 and then maybe 10. Yes, so after 12, 10, how many orders have been placed? We have let's say 18, 19. These orders are placed after 10th December 2024, right? So these are the orders. Likewise, I can use greater than as well. So this is for 10th, so greater than 11. So first one would be excluded, right? First one would be excluded. So this is greater than 11. So let's run this now. So if I were to run this, this is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting, right? So we have 18, 19, 13, 14, 15, and 17. This is what we have. Likewise, next, if I were to check order status, over here, if I were to check the order status, so maybe I can write the order status as pending. So I want to display all the records where the order status is pending, right? So this is okay, greater than and greater than equal to. All right, so this is greater than 11, greater than equal to 11, and this was just greater than 10. So greater than 10 and greater than equal to 11, both ways we are getting the similar output. And if I were to fetch all the orders where the order status is pending, so this is what I'm getting. And if I were to show you not equal to, so I can write it like this. I'm filtering all the records from the orders table where the order status is not pending, not equal to pending. So these are the order status where the order status is not pending, implying that the orders have been shipped. All right, orders have been shipped successfully. So this is greater than, equal to, and not equal to. And likewise, then I can mention, let's say, where the quantity is less than 3. All right, quantity less than 3. So how many records do we have? So we have a total of 7 rows where the order quantity is less than 3. All right, and likewise I can mention less than equal to 3. So less than equal to 3 would also include 3, right? So let's run this and check. So when I'm executing this, this is what I'm getting. So this is how, let's say, we can apply the basic level of filtering. Then let's say how to use and, or, in, between, and not in. So the way we have seen in MySQL, same way we can apply it over here. So maybe over here I'm writing where the order quantity is less than 3 and the product ID. So over here I want to check if the product ID is 1. So let's see this. See, we have 2 records where the product ID is 1 and the, let's say, quantity is less than 3. And what if instead of and, if I were to write or, so what is it that I'm getting? So over here now I'm getting like this. All right. So where the quantity is less than 3 and the product ID is equal to 1. The product ID that we have is equal to 1. Next, if I were to check select star from orders where, let's say, now over here I'm going to filter this on the order date, right? So maybe where the order date is let's say order date between 2025, 2024, 12, let's say 5, and 2024, 12, 10. This is the range between which I want to filter my records. So if I were to execute this, as we can check, the output contains all the records whether the order date is between 5 and 10th December, right? So as you can check 9, 10, 6 and 7, and clearly we can see that both values are inclusive. So even in MySQL and Postgre, both the values are inclusive. Both values are inclusive over here. Next, if I were to show you in and not in, right? So for that, let's say where quantity in, quantity should be either let's say 3 or 1 or 3 only. So now I'm fetching all the records where the quantity is either 1 or 3, right? Not more, not less. Likewise, if I were to write not in, so it's just the opposite. So for not in, this is what I'm getting, right? This is how we can execute it. Next, we can look at the sorting operations. So when we talk about the sorting operation, so the procedure is entirely same. So maybe just this record, now I want to order it by, I want to order it, let's say by the quantity. So by default, it is in ascending order. So as you can see, this is the result and the result is in the ascending order of quantity. What if I want to display all the records from the orders table in the ascending order of, let's say from the orders, and then order by, over here I can mention the delivery date and this is in the ascending order. So this is in the ascending order. So this is what I have over here. I'm having 5, 7, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 17. So clearly we can see this is in the ascending order, right? Now, if I were to display it in the descending order, so I'll just be writing like this. So writing ascending is optional. That is entirely optional and we can write it like this. So now this is what I'm getting, right? See, clearly the descending delivery date is in the descending order. Over here, we can clearly see that the delivery date is in the descending order, right? Next, what can we write? We can also use limit over here. So I want to display, let's say, top 3 orders by price. Top 3 orders by price. So what do I write? Over here I can write select star from orders table and then order by price and then order by price descending, and maybe I can write limit 3. So as you can see, these are the 3 orders in the descending order of price. So guys, this is how we apply the filtering and the sorting in MySQL and Postgre. So that brings us to the end of this session. Let's switch to the PPT. So guys, in this session, we have understood how to use the filtering operations and we have understood how to use the sorting operations. So in the next session, we'll be proceeding to other advanced, let's say SQL topics such as joins and subqueries. Thank you.